Hi, super geniuses. So, as you all know, we are a community and we're always very jealous of people going to all the retreats. And I'm the person that's like, okay, you're going to the retreat, you have to talk about it to us, give us copious, details and send us pictures and whatever. And of course, in London, when London was happening, we suddenly started seeing these pictures and videos of a beautiful young man who was walking. And, we didn't really know what was happening, but we understood that a lot of people were crying and a lot of people were moved. And some people who I knew were like, oh, he was in my team, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, oh, wow, I would love to hear more about it. And it was just like a very spontaneous thing of like, I would like to talk to him because he must be so inspiring. It must be so inspiring for so many people. And I had a conversation with Ikshit. He was in Evolved Living Matrix, and he said yes. And I had such a wonderful talk with him. And I realized that this talk that we're going to have, this Q&A that we're going to have, has so much potential of inspiring many, many people beyond our community. The reason being that Ikshit has been diagnosed with something since he was 14, and he's now 28. So can you imagine that some of us would have probably given up within a year of meditation or a year of doing the work? And he's been, on this journey for quite a long time. So I won't talk much more, but I'll just allow him to speak for himself. And then afterwards, you can all unmute yourself and ask him the questions. And please, Ikshit wants to inspire us. He told me he really wants to use this to inspire young people as well, because we really think that when you're young and impressionable and you get a diagnosis, that is a very different, life you're going to have than when you have it, let's say, when you're in your 30s, and you know more. So thank you so much, Ikshit, for actually talking to us almost near your midnight. And I'm going to mute myself and I'll let you do the talking. Okay? Thank you so much for being here from all of us.
Thank you so much for having me here. Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. So I just want to share my story, a life-changing story in the recent London event. So I'll quickly start with my journey. So 14 years ago, I was in 9th grade. Up till then, I was all active and participating in sports and all. One day I was climbing up my school bus and I noticed some weakness in my legs. I couldn't climb easily. So I took the support of the door and my brother used to help me. So that was really strange for me because earlier than that, I never required that kind of support or nothing. So I didn't figure it out that day only. So I just moved on normally. Gradually, my mother started noticing some weakness in my movements. And when I'm climbing upstairs, I'm taking the support of the railing. So she thought there's something wrong. So we got checked up with many doctors, general physicians, orthopedician. Nobody was able to figure out anything. We ended up to a neurologist. He kind of figured it out. And so once he checked me, I was sent out of the room. And then my parents came out after a while and then said, everything is okay, let's go home. Okay, I was just a kid, so I don't know what's happening all around in the real world, but we moved on. So just out of curiosity, one day I secretly opened my mother's cupboard and took out my medical file, and I was curious, like, what's wrong with me? Because I was feeling something is happening with me, because my running speed, my running posture has started changing. My friends had started making fun of me running. They are mimicking me. I didn't realize it that because something's wrong with me that time, because I thought that is normal. But when friends are making fun of me, it felt sad. So when I took the file out of my mother's cupboard, I read the term Baker's muscular dystrophy as my diagnosis. I didn't knew anything about it. I just searched the internet about it. And first thing I found was it was written, there's no cure for muscular dystrophy. And it progresses with age. And by the time I'll be 25 years of age, I'll be in a wheelchair. That shattered me completely, because still now life was going such smooth and normal. and then this, and something for which there's no cure. But still, I moved on with my life, going to school normally, tried to keep myself normal and happy as much as I can. But still, my weakness was growing a bit year by year, and my walking changed. I was taking much more support while walking up the stairs. But amongst my friends and students, I never want to share it and never wanted to talk about it. I didn't want anybody to know about this because I felt embarrassed about it. That me having such condition and me walking this, somebody used to poke me even, but I just tried to ignore that conversation and never wanted to have that kind of conversation. I went to the university, I did software engineering, and that time also, that was like most traumatic time for me because I was growing up, I was gaining this analytical mind amongst my like teenage and having these friends all around, enjoying life, doing all such activities, but I am being restricted and limited. But still, I kept going. My mother kept motivating me, and she counseled me that there's some higher power, just believe in that higher power and everything will be okay. So from very beginning, my young age, I've been counseled and conditioned like this. So I'm really glad to be like for that kind of conditioning from very beginning. In my university days, I met one enlightened soul, a yoga teacher. She directed me to the meditation, and she said meditation has power to heal everything. So she said just start meditation. So I was 18 then. I started meditation. I started with just 5 minutes a day. That's it. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't have any expectations, how to do it, what to do. Just I sat, I put a timer on my mobile phone and just sat for 5 minutes and then I got up. Nothing. So I was not feeling anything. I was just sitting for 5 minutes. Gradually, I increased time to 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then 1 hour. So it's been 10 years now. I have not missed a day for my meditation. So my university days passed. I kept like my health keep declining. I started falling in public places. I used to travel through subways and metros. I fall down with a little jerk, and there used to be 2, 3 people carrying me up. That felt so much embarrassing, and I couldn't even recall that kind of emotion. That was so much traumatic for me. I avoided public gatherings in restaurants. I'm going, there was all eyes staring at me when I'm getting up from my chair, how awkward position I'm taking. So these all just keep on taking me to the depressing side and sadness and sorrow of having this limitation, being dependent on others, not being able to live life fully. So these are all the low moments, but still I kept doing my meditation. I kept doing all the physiotherapy and exercises that were recommended to me by the doctors, because they said physiotherapy is the only treatment that could slow down the muscle degeneration process. Other than that, there's no treatment for it. So I kept doing it. In 2018, I got to know about Dr. Joe through YouTube videos. I read Becoming Supernatural 2 or 3 times. I found that whatever I'm doing for so many years, there's proper science behind it. So I was just more curious, more motivated towards meditation. I started watching testimonials, Dr. Joe's interviews again and again, again and again. I was all into it because I could relate. There's proper science behind everything I'm doing till now, all the breath work and everything. So I I consulted a few other doctors as well. They recommended me muscle biopsy because later on in my journey, they were confused whether I am having Becker's muscular dystrophy or is it limb girdle muscular dystrophy. Because after so many years seeing my condition, they thought it's little better as it was expected according to my age. And I thought that's the result of my meditations because they are now changing the diagnosis. So, but I asked them that will muscle biopsy help in treatment? So they said no, it will just help us to label it correctly, and so we can decide it further. So I decided against it because I don't want to get stamped for something for which there's no treatment. So I didn't get the muscle biopsy done. Now I just head towards the like for the London event. When I registered for the London event, I started doing meditations for at least 2 or 3 hours each day, a minimum, and maybe for 4 to 5 hours some days. I watched intensive and progressive 2 or 3 times, and some lectures maybe 4 or 5 times. So before going to the London event, I had completely devoted myself to this, watching my thoughts, like conscious of my each and every activity and behavior, what's happening in my mind, everything. In London event, I had made up my mind before London event, I'll be running. So I used to watch running videos of Usain Bolt like every now and then. So during my exercises and physiotherapy, I kept these running videos on all the time. So in London, before walking meditation, when I woke up till I was about to go for the walking meditation, I was all watching this running videos. So during walking meditation, I tried running. I took the support of the two volunteers, but I felt a lot of difference and I was able to move my legs much faster than I ever could. I ever could imagine doing that. All throughout before walking meditation, I was walking in London, holding a volunteer's hand because I used to take a support while walking. And even I was using wheelchair sometimes to go down the ramp or something. After walking in meditation, the healing happened that day. When I was lying down for the healing, I just had this thought, I am healed just to inspire others, not for myself. I'll devote my rest of the life just to make others feel fulfilled in their life. That's it. So when I had this thought, my heart opened such big and I felt so much of love in me. Then healing happened. I stood up. I started walking and I felt there's something different in me. I could feel so much strength in my legs. There was so much stability. My walk has completely changed. I was this super happy and like I was behaving crazy because I had never felt like this in years. I didn't require any support for anybody's while walking. I walked down the ramp all my own without taking anybody's support or wheelchair. When I was about to enter my hotel, I asked my brother, I want to run. So again, I tried running and it was way better than the morning. And I could I could feel my legs moving so fast. And I had like I knew then that the miracle has happened and I had this healing. And now I had this 100% belief that I can cure myself completely. So there's still like still I'm on journey. I need to heal much more. So but earlier still I had some doubts, but now I am 100% sure that I can be completely healed. And one day I'll be like, you will see me running around. So and you'll see me like running videos for me, definitely. So this is all my like journey throughout, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Wow. Wow. I can imagine the shock, I still have my body is like feeling cold when I think of the moment that you as a young boy was looking up this piece of paper and then, your mother out of the love of her heart tried to protect you and then you having to find out that way. It's almost like, as Dr. Joe would say, the voodoo curse, right? And then you think, oh, incurable, so I really want to give everybody here the opportunity to ask questions, I see Simona, you raised your hand. If you want to ask a question, please raise your hand. Simona, please unmute yourself. If you know how to do that. Yes, Simona.
Oh, thank you really so much for this story. And I must say that I was also in London and I actually went there for my son, who is 6 years old. And in May, he was diagnosed Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So, and then I learned about Dr. Jaw. And so I happened to be in London. And then when you stood up and when you said, like, what when you start to tell your story, for me, this was like, in a way that this was the place where I had to be, because of course I worked with myself, but this was more for my son. And so thank you really for this inspiration. Thank you for showing that everything is possible and that you are not the diagnosis, because this is, I think, the most important thing. And what I also told doctors, that, I mean, they can label it as they want, but it's not my son, whom they are labeling, So really, first of all, thank you so much. But then my question to you would be like, what would be your advice? Because you said your mother was in a way always supporting you. So what would you advise to me as a mom, like how to be even more, let's say, present, and how to guide my son into this healing journey? Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, and great question. And so the best advice I can give to you is start conditioning him that he can be healed. Keep him away from all these thoughts that it's incurable, there's no cure, there's no treatment. Go to doctors, visit doctors only if it's very necessary, because they don't have any positive news for this. Just keep counseling him. He can be healed. He has the power to heal himself. Guide him in this direction only. Make him watch as many motivational videos, running videos, exercising videos as much as you can. Keep the environment positive and keep him light and light-hearted. Say, like, no worries about anything, no negative thinking, negative emotions about everything. That will help a lot. And this is the key thing, because I have been conditioned like this since very beginning, and that has helped me a lot. Like, I had felt depressed many times, like many times, but still always back of my mind, I had this voice, still I can rise up. There's still a possibility. And that's only because from the very beginning, I've been conditioned, I can be cured. So this is very important. Just keep the environment very positive. Keep motivating him as much as you can, and make him believe he can be cured, because he's still young. What he believes now, he'll keep on believing that. So don't let any negative news about this, that this is incurable. Don't let him search this on internet. Just keep this muscular dystrophy word away from him. It will not gonna help anything. Make him aware he should not be kept in darkness, but with a positive aspect of it, that there's the limitation of medical science, it's okay, but still our body has the power to heal itself. This is the best thing I can tell you.
Thank you so
Wow,
much.
I'm really feeling the wisdom. I think I'm almost twice your age, but I feel so much wisdom in what you're saying, and it comes from your life experience, and it's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Are there other people who would like to raise their hand and unmute themselves? Otherwise, I will have tons of questions, but I know that all of you, will have questions. Maybe some of you are dealing with something and you're asking yourself, does Ikshit have some advice for me? I know when I was listening to you, I was thinking, I was so impressed by how much you were working on yourself before you came to the retreat. Because actually, when I've been doing Dr. Joe work since the beginning of his career, and we actually had a lot of life progressives. That was the only way we could do the progressive. So I couldn't really cheat, if you know what I mean. Like, I couldn't cheat and say, oh, I did the progressive and I actually didn't do it. But right now, a lot of people actually come to the retreats without having made the time to do all the progressives. And how many times did you do the progressive by yourself, did you say? 3 times, 5 times?
Yeah, almost 3 times, yes.
So, and could you say maybe, were there specific meditations that you focused on that really helped you? Because I know some people get that technical, like they really want to know, was it tuning into a new potential? Was it maybe the blessing of the energy centers, or maybe something else?
Okay, yeah. I would definitely tell my specific meditations, but I will recommend try it on your own. Because why I'm saying this, earlier I used to hate blessing of the energy centers, but now this is my favorite. So
It's
because
my favorite.
earlier I
Yeah.
used to be bored with blessing of the energy centers. I don't know what to do, what to feel, what to imagine, nothing. But after the retreat, this is my favorite meditation. I'm doing it twice a day since the retreat. So try it on your own. What I was doing was I was doing tuning into the new potentials that helped me visualize myself. And after each tuning into new potential meditation, I was feeling much more strength than I sat. And I was doing blessing of the energy centers still. I was doing breaking the habit of being yourself daily, being in the present moment. So I was just trying and shuffling what made me feel better, what made me happy. I was not just stuck to one particular meditation. I was kept on like doing many and other trying different and different meditations. So for all of you, I'll recommend try and choose and pick what works best for you, and keep on changing if you want. There's nothing like you have to stick to only one always, because I never stick to only one. So that's my best advice for this.
Beautiful. Anthony, you have a question? Please unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. Hey, thank you so much for sharing. I was super inspired by your story on the retreat, and two things stuck out for me, which I was actually lucky enough to be one of the Heelys as well. You talked about well, the two things that I've really picked up on were just showing up 100%, but then surrendering at the same time. So when I was going into the coherence healings, I think it was the second day, all I had in my head, I was almost saying it as a mantra: your words, just show up and surrender. And showing up is something that I've been quite good at in my life. Like, I'm quite good at doing stuff, but the surrendering part I've always found quite challenging, and was able to surrender pretty well on the retreat. But just wondering if you had any tips on surrendering. It sounds like showing up has been something that you've really mastered, doing your meditations every day. But any tips on that other aspect of surrendering? Would be quite interesting to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll tell you what worked for me in surrendering. So as you said, you are good at showing up. I was also good at showing up. Because I had this routine of my meditation, as like we have routine for doing our brush, having breakfast. So this is my routine. I never missed meditation any day. So that was good. But surrendering. So what I did was, and maybe because I have been conditioned like this, I used to focus and acknowledge small positive things daily we have in our life. For example, being able to board the subway train on time, being able to complete your project work on time, having a good coffee in the evening, having your most loved song being played in the cab. Just very small things. If you look around, we all have this in our day. So when we try to acknowledge them and focus on them, these are just side gifts of whatever work we are doing. Maybe we are doing a work for one big goal or one big purpose, but still these are also the side effects or side gifts of whatever we are doing throughout. So when we acknowledge this, like so many positive things are happening to us daily, this allows me to believe in this higher power. Like I know that divine is working with me and everything happening with me is for my good. And in long term, it will benefit me anyhow. So this thing allowed me to surrender more and more. I had the strong belief, whatever will happen for me, it will be for my good. And it was not easy. Like really, practically, it was not easy to surrender every time because there are many things happening against me. I am falling, like many things are, I wanted something like to be like this, but it happened in an opposite way. But still, back of my mind, there's a strong voice. It had happened for you. And in near future, it will prove to be for good for me. And maybe because this is a part of conditioning uh, from my young age, that I had this strong voice of belief in divine or higher power or God. I always felt that God is with me. Even when I fell once, like I remember I was in metro, my metro train. I fell, I was going to the college. After that, like somebody helped me, stood up, and I walked away. After like I calmed down, I had this thought, this was also for some reason. And something has lightened me up. And I don't know, I don't remember even like what was the reason. I didn't figure it out lately, but I had this belief that it is for me. So you also start doing it, start acknowledging very small positive things throughout your day. Believe that it is happening for you and universe is working for you. And it is just the side effect of the work you are doing, that you are showing up daily. This will help you surrender more and more, and just leave, surrender. You will focus. See.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
That is so moving because it's so hard to actually really believe, again, from 14 to 28, that all this is happening for you until you actually had the proof that it was working for you. But I really feel that you have the type of personality that even if nothing changed, you would still believe that it was working for you, but it was just a choice. I don't know whether other people have questions, but I had a strong question around what would have happened if your mother would not have conditioned you to believe in a higher power and to have faith. Do you think you would have maybe attracted or found another way to be in this mindset? Or do you think that she was quite like this positive influence and guide was very, very instrumental in your what you call conditioning from when you were 14? I mean, did she already believe in a high power? Did she talk to you about it since you were a little boy? Or did it really come in when you were 14 and this happened and she really felt she had to guide you in some way?
Okay, yeah, great question. So as I said, my mother and that enlightened soul I call as my guru. So they both
Your
kept me.
guru.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So okay, again, so I'll take it as if they both were not there to guide me and condition me like this, what would I have done?
Yeah.
So in that case, see, I would have thought what other options I have, because I knew medical science has no cure for this. I tried many other things, naturopathy, Ayurveda, many other kind of treatments, but nothing worked for long. So I would have tried other options and tried a different mindset. But at last, I might have found only this meditation. Then this is the only thing that is still giving me hope that meditation can cure everything. Other than that, nobody and nothing, no treatment has given me this hope that it can treat everything. So maybe I might have figured it out lately that I'll be cured through meditation and I'll be on this path if my mother has not conditioned me or my guru has not conditioned, motivated me like that. So I don't know. might have been like more depressed for some more time, but I can't imagine the opposite of it, because since very beginning I have been like this only. So what would have happened alternatively? I would have been more depressed. Like I could have given up more easily. And but again, how longer I would have been depressed? Like if I am depressed, I'm lying on bed doing nothing. How longer? One day I would have felt I can't lie down on bed my whole life. So at least anything that is giving me hope, may it be meditation or breath work, anything, at least I can do that. If there's even 1% hope in that, so that could have been like my last option without any motivation or conditioning.
Yeah, I can completely see that. And I also heard you say that, preparing for the retreat, you were actually, even when you were not doing the meditation, you were basically monitoring your own thoughts, right? And you were monitoring your state. And I think a lot of people sometimes when they just do the meditation and they don't monitor their states in between, they go unconscious again. So I think this is an amazing takeaway for all of us to actually stay in that state and to really, become that new person, become that new personality instead of going back to the old personality with a lot of excuses and a lot of justification, I would say.
One thing more I would like to add here. So when I was trying to be conscious of my unconscious thoughts, so what I observed was like I did my morning meditation, and after that I was in this meditative state and that positive feeling my future self and observing my thoughts clearly for maybe 2 or 3 hours after the meditation. And I observed after 3 hours, I am again slipping back in my old personality. So what I did after 3 hours, I did again a short meditation to bring me back again in that new personality I want. So that helped me much more to be conscious more and to change my state of mind. So even maybe like a short meditation, a 15-minute meditation, just I figured it out like after how long I am going slipping back in my old condition. I just put a small meditation in that time frame, and then I again brought my mind in the new state of mind. So that also helped me a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. I actually think, once a day is maybe, if we're talking about a huge condition, might not be enough. I don't know what the science says, but to me, it feels like, as Dr. Joe said, you're thinking you're awake for so many hours and you're only positive during the meditation, but then boom, you slip back to, oh, my body's in pain, or, oh, I don't have any money, or I'm not, I still haven't manifested what I want. And we go back into lack. We go back to searching for the manifestation. So a lot of things really are not helpful. Anybody else who would like to ask questions? I'm sure you have some. Don't be shy. If you're shy, put it in the chat and I can ask it for you. Or if you just want to thank Ikshit and Fran, I'm sure you want to say something.
Yes, I do want to say something. I don't have a question, but I just want to thank Ikshit for turning up today to share with us. It is so inspiring for me to hear this. I mean, you know what you say. I know it. We all know it, but drumming it in, turning up, doing the work. This is the best news that I've heard lately. I mean, to remind me to do it. So thank you so much for sharing. I mean, your wisdom is really, as Angelique said, so contagious. So thank you very much for coming.
So much. Thank you.
And I'm waiting for that video of you running to be posted on ETLM. It's
Sure.
coming. I know it.
It will come definitely, yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So Claudine, I saw Claudine here. Do you have something to ask? I'm just gonna point out all my friends that I see here.
Okay. Hi, Ikshit. Good evening. So happy to see you in live now because I saw you on the videos. I wasn't in London. What struck me in what you said was in that part of surrendering, you knew that your healing would also be like you would heal for the many, to be an example, to inspire. So that is a beautiful message. And so what I think then, like they always say, like the more you love, the more love comes back to you. So do you think that it's necessary, not very important, is it necessary to have a mission in that in order to heal? You see what I mean? Does that make the difference?
I think it definitely makes a difference because, as Dr. Joe says, feel whole. Because when you feel whole, you are no longer in lack. You just want to give back. So that is very much important, and that helps you only because it's a part of healing. When you are in lack only, you are only wanting, so you are separate.
Yes. And that is more the ego state, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So you were able to connect with your beingness the whole time, with your higher self.
Not whole time, like
No, not the whole time.
no, it was not possible. And there were many times I have been like in this lack and separate, wanting, and because I could feel weakness and like lack in every movement of mine. So wherever I'm going, I'm not able to participate fully. So
Yes.
when I'm comparing to others, when I'm
Yes.
seeing everybody of my age doing all sort of things, I'm still dependent on everybody to go from place A to place B. So it's very difficult at that moment to feel whole.
Yes.
Honestly speaking.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
not that
You
all
feel the
easy.
lack, you feel the sadness. Yes.
Yes. So I have been in depression for months and in lack, in sadness, feeling sorrow, loneliness for months. So again, it's not easy, but it's doable.
Yes. There's this flame.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
whenever I'm like back in at my lowest point, I just press my reset button, go back to the basics and start again.
Reset button. Okay, that's beautiful.
So I have this virtual reset button in my mind. So when I'm conscious, I'm slipping back at my lowest point, I just press this reset button so hard, then I'm all in the basics and I start again.
Bravo, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claudine. And being the beautiful host that I am here, I see more of my friends here, and I'm just going to call their names. Martina, would you like to ask a question? I'm sure she'll have a question. Yeah, and that after that, I want Alba to speak as well, so you can prepare.
Hi, everybody. Well, no, I don't have a specific question. I saw you in London. I heard you in London, and I, like everybody, was very moved. And I thank you for sharing your story and for being here tonight. It's very inspiring to hear your wisdom. And,
Thank you.
you got so much out of this hard, tough story, and that's so beautiful to hear. So,
Thank you. Thank you so
no,
much.
I'm sorry. I don't find a specific question just now, but I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Martina. Just to express your appreciation. Alba creates the most amazing notes when she goes to a retreat. So she will have, I don't know, you don't need to have a question, Alba, but maybe you have something to share.
Oh, Ikshit, we were in the same white group. We shared a hug. I stopped you in the hallway because it was amazing. I felt you so connected with the right frequency. I think that was something that came from that retreat. And I saw you so connected. As you find that right frequency with your intention, and just that light of you was radiating And I'm sure that those moments that we are not all the whole time that you say high up, we have that moments, and that's the challenge. And I noticed that, and that's why we were so inspiring to all of us, the ones we saw you directly, and then the videos that are going around. So I really thank you for being there, for sharing this path, for inspiring us, for doing this, and really that connection of that frequency that you found, because that was, for me, was a key in that your healing and your life, your beautiful moment that I can see that through you. Thank you so much.
So much. Thank you.
Beautiful words of finding the right frequency, and I do have a question about that. But Carolina, would you like to add something? Or share something?
No, I speak Spanglish, so I don't know if you can understand me. I am very moved by you, by your energy. I have only a crazy idea. I don't know if we can do it. I think we can just a minute, only a minute, close our eyes and run with you. So you can feel in your heart that you are running with us.
That's so beautiful. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
let's do it. Let's run with Ikshit.
So I'll put the timer on for 1 minute.
So what kind of race do you want? Do you want a race or just run in a park? What would you like?
I want to just run and enjoy life.
Okay.
Like children. Without purpose, not like in a game or in a race, but just like, how kids run around just for fun. So I'm going to put a timer on, and let's go to that beautiful quantum field where this has already happened, and tune in. And all those of you watching the recording, tune in for 1 minute. I'm going to put the timer on, that we will be running together with Ikshit and many other kids and adults that we will be inspiring. And Carolina is crying tears of joy. You can unmute yourself, and if you want to say it in Spanish, I'm sorry, Alba can translate. Carolina, yes.
Thank you. I hope you feel the same than me.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I felt it. It was so good, and I literally enjoyed. I was celebrating while running with all of you, and I had this goosebumps while just visualizing that. Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. It was good.
Thank you, Carolina. Carolina always has visions when she's doing healings. And yeah, and it's so beautiful. There's a lot of people writing in the chat here. I'm going to, because yeah, unless anybody else would like to share something, you don't even have to have a question. Just give Ikshit your appreciation. Please feel free to do that. So Puname was saying, you are amazing, Ikshit. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Kimosabi, humbled and inspired. You are a trailblazer. Somebody was laughing about you doing it twice. Karen saying, thank you so much. Amazing to hear your story again. You're a special person, sharing a special story, totally inspiring. With a gratitude. Andy is saying, thank you so much. So inspiring. Haley, thank you for your beautiful wisdom. May you be abundantly blessed. Simona, thank you once again for the light you're sharing. I definitely know you're already helping a little boy to become big and healthy. I have to leave the meeting, but again and again, thank you. Pascal, you're so inspiring. Thank you for sharing your beautiful journey. I see you running with so much joy and all those you have inspired. And Kimosabi was saying, we ran, we laughed, we reveled in the beauty of it all. And Irene, thank you for sharing your story. Ikshit, you're amazing. So, Puname, would you like to, and I think Anthony has his hands up again. Puname, please feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah, first of all, I haven't really got a question, but I just wanted to say that a really big appreciation to you, Ikshit, for sorry, I feel a bit emotional, for sharing your story with us. I was there at London, you know, saw you, and such an inspirational story. And what we just did now with the visualizing, with the running, absolutely amazing. That was very emotional and funny, because I'm not a very, well, I can't really run. So in me, I could see you running in front of me and saying, come on, Poonam, keep up with me. So it was but it was just really just to say thank you. And obviously you said that you want to be an inspiration for people. So what I wanted to just ask was that, coming back home, how have family and community seen your journey with what's happened? How, you know, have you been an inspiration to them? And, you know, are people intrigued with what happened in London?
Yes, so my family is all shocked seeing me, and particularly my friends who never did meditation before. They were so much surprised and so much inspired now that they said we will be doing meditation at any cost now, because they didn't believe this much in meditation, that it could have this much of effect and benefit on health. So they are saying that we are starting meditation and you will be guiding us from where to start, how to start, what is the basic of it. And they are so happy, and they are saying that at least you have to continue it at any cost. You can't stop, like leave everything else, just focus on this, because now we have seen this result, drastic change in you. We will keep on coming and pushing you that you are doing your work or not. So this is amazing, and they are so all very happy, and it's motivating me further, so like to do it more and more, because I can feel their happiness as well. So it's been like great since my return from London. Amazing.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Poonam. Thank you.
That's so beautiful to hear. Anthony wants to say something as well, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to share something from that little meditation that we just done. So I, 10 years ago, was playing professional rugby, and I dislocated my knee and nearly lost my left leg. So I had 4 major surgeries on my left leg. I couldn't walk for I think it was about 9-10 months. I couldn't run for over a year, nearly 18 months. And I just visualized myself, and the first moment I ran again after that long time out was so special. And yeah, I just kind of imagined you as me taking this journey of running. And yeah, I just wanted to share that earlier this year, I ran a half marathon to celebrate my recovery. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that with you to maybe give you some inspiration. Maybe you're not going to run half marathon, but yeah, it was, you know, beautiful, that meditation, just to kind of see myself in you running a little after so long. And you know, now I'm fully healed, recovered from that, and I run a half marathon this year to celebrate and inspire other rugby players that, you know, have got bad injuries. And yeah, so just wanted to share that. And yeah, thank you once again.
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, it means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Anthony. I mean, we didn't know your story because you know, we have so many beautiful geniuses in the community. It's almost like, you know, who do we do a Q&A with and who not? But that sounds like a very beautiful message as well, Anthony, to actually really have this bigger vision for the healing than just for yourself. I really feel that. And I think, you know, none of the big teachers that, you know, that we read books from, that are doing the work selflessly, none of them are doing it for themselves. They have a so much bigger vision that is leading them, that takes them from country to country and giving up so much just for this mission. So just let us, you know, that could also be something. If there's something that you want to do and you think you want to inspire people, by God, do so. Sam, please unmute yourself. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was in London as well with you, and I saw you on stage. And I don't know what you did to me or what happened, but the moment you said that you were meditating for 10 years and you never ever missed a day, my heart blew wide open. It was so painful actually because it tried to open. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for a very inspiring story on stage. What I observed in your story, and also like commonalities in other stories, is that when you try to think of, or when you try to imagine of how many people you will actually touch with your healing story, right? It's not about you, and it's not about healing your body or whatever and being selfish in a way, but it's more like how many people you will touch. And I had this experience as well when I, for example, in the healings, I was a healer. When I don't know, like somehow a movie appeared in front of me where I saw this person laying in front of me, like all her children were so touched of a healing story, and like the many generations that come after her that will be affected by all of this and that will be doing the work. And I just wanted to, I don't know, let you know that probably you have no idea right now how many people you will actually touch with your healing story right now. You have, even if you try to think of it with your conscious mind, like there will be so many people and so many generations after you that you will affect by this. So keep doing the work. You're amazing, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sam. And you know, stories and things like this even keep me going, because after my return, there were still some moments when I felt, oh, still I'm like not feeling that much healed, or that kind of thoughts were still coming again. But this time I thought there are so many people waiting for me now. And because I know so many people are touched with my story, so that thing made me like, now I have to go. I have to keep on doing it at any cost. So thank you so much. These things really helped me a lot as well. So thank you, Sam.
You're welcome. Thank you.
What a beautiful message that your heart blew open just hearing 10 years. I mean, all of us are super impressed. I know Dr. Joe for 10 years, you know, since his first book. So can you imagine that you've been diagnosed for 10 years? I saw Biljana, Alba, and Katie. Biljana, would you like to say something? Please do.
Sure. Thank you. Awesome, Angelique. First of all, thank you Ikshit, that was an amazing story and so inspiring and empowering. So absolutely in awe, and thank you so much. I also just wanted to share. I had an accident about 13 years ago, and couldn't walk, couldn't sit up, couldn't do anything. And I'm a runner, so running is everything to me. It makes me feel alive. And I went through some conventional therapies, did not help much at all. They were keeping me on painkillers because I was just screaming with pain all the time. And they wanted to do the operation, which I refused. So I started my journey of recovering and healing through natural therapies. And you know, there are lots of them. And of course, I came across Dr. Joe. And at that time, I was not aware of the walking meditations. So I did manage to heal my back. And despite the doctor's diagnosis, when I asked them whether I'll be able to run again, they laughed and they said, Biljana, you would be lucky if you can walk again. So I, of course, fired them, and I went on my path of recovery. And I did recover to the extent that I started running a little bit at a time, and the doctor said, well, you know, you're on your own. We are not taking responsibility for what you're doing. So after about 6 months, I managed to run 5 miles. And everybody was congratulating, but I wasn't satisfied with that, of course. And I said, I'm going to do more. So after about a couple of years after that, I actually ran a full marathon, 26.2 miles. And after that, I come from Sydney, Australia. So I did that in Miami, Florida. And I went back to Sydney, to my home, and I did a triathlon over there. I didn't plan to, but I was invited when my friends heard what I did in Miami. So I did a triathlon as well without actually no training of bicycle or swimming. So my team still ended up being in the first 50%, top 50%. So that was all very encouraging. And there was still this, so I was, fully functional, but there was still this nagging feeling that, it's not all completely healed. And there was this bump on my spine. And of course, the doctors wanted to operate on it again. I said, no. And I keep working on it. And it was until 3 years ago when I actually went to my first week-long in Niagara Falls. And there, I actually experienced something I haven't experienced before, which was the healing. And it was partially during the walking meditation, and also I received a healing in the cage. And there was this hand that was doing something on my back. And when I got out of it, I just felt like fully myself. And the first thing I wanted to do is to check my back, and there was no bump. It was all perfectly okay, like before the accident. So yes, this is the most powerful and most amazing, and the healing I have never encountered in my life before. And yes, the persistence and devotion and focus is what actually gets us there. So then I decided to give back to our community, and I do as much as I possibly can in that regard. And I always encourage all of our awesome geniuses to stay on their path. And I know it's not easy, and probably Ikshit can also confirm that. So yeah, it took me, what, 13 years to completely heal everything and to feel again that I can do whatever I want to. And I'm pretty active. So, and bending, you know, bending backwards and in all kinds of directions, because I also do yoga, all kinds of twists, and now it's all possible. So I'm so thankful and in deep gratitude to what Dr. Joe has done for us. And I'm absolutely, for the rest of my life, dedicated and devoted to this work. And giving back to the community is one of my top priorities. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great. It was an inspiration for me, really. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Biljana, for not listening to the doctors. And for all you do, of course, but for first not listening to the doctors, and then even the doctor saying, "Oh, please do what you want," but we don't want to feel responsible.
Yeah,
yes,
they
of
don't want
course, they don't want to be
responsibility.
sued.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Thank you.
And this is not to blame them. There is a place for them in this society as well. And you know, when it comes to this kind of healing and you know, lifting up us, uplifting ourselves and empowering ourselves, when somebody comes up with that kind of judgment, yeah, it is a judgment, then you know, so many people just feel helpless and hopeless. And I guess I was lucky enough to know that somehow inside of myself that there are other possibilities, that it is possible, and probably a rebel in me. So I will show them, I will show everybody. So that's what kept me going. So it's, yeah. And I absolutely wanted to be, you know, fully functional and inspiring everybody else. So and during my marathon, I also want to mention, it wasn't easy, and actually the first part, half of the marathon, was quite easy for me. And there was an option for me to stop there, because they said, okay, you know, half marathoners, you can end here. And I thought, no, I'm here to do the full marathon, and I did it. So, because I just want to say, you know, this is possible. You can do it. Everybody can do it. If I can do it, everybody can.
Wow. Great.
Mind over matter. Thank you, Biljana.
You're welcome.
Katie.
Thank you, Angelique.
Thank you, Biljana.
I didn't have my hand up actually, but we love you, Ikshit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I wanted to just jump in, Ikshit, because several people have said on the call, you know, you just don't know what the legacy is of your testimony and all your work. Like everything that I'm hearing about what you've done is applying almost every single one of the teachings of Dr. Joe, which is just incredible. And you seem to have really inspired Dr. Joe, because he told us last week at Marco Island that he has watched the videos of you over 100 times. Wow. And that he is like learning so much from you. And that's what he was telling us at the retreat. And so, yeah, I think you've really, blown open the possibilities for a lot of people's healing of conditions that they would not have thought possible. And so I thank you. It's just, you have a beautiful spirit.
Thank you so much. And even like if Dr. Joe is watching my video 100 of times, so it definitely means a lot for me, and it is still like inspiring me much more. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Thank you for giving that beautiful information that even Dr. Joe is watching the video 100 times, you know. There are other videos I watch 100 times because, you know, some people just have a specific state of mind, and there's definitely, you know, one or two Dr. Joe geniuses that manifested huge abundance that to me is like, I want to be like them. I want to be like them. And I sort of try to mimic the state of being and think like them. And so you cannot imagine how, you know, just your little video or this interview can affect so many people. And literally, you know, I did tell you the interviews that I do, I watch them over and over again because I want to hear what was said. So Alba.
Yes, I like to add two things that I also noticed from you, Ikshit, in this inspirational way of that you overcame a diagnosis. You didn't believe in the prognosis. And I think that's very important in any sense, because I had my own healing. Angelique and many of the group knows about it, that I perceived that you didn't really believe that what was happening to you. You didn't personal taken that name that sometimes is given to any condition or anything like that. And that was for me, for instance, also very important. And I thank you for that, because it's reaffirming that it's like not believing completely. It's like when we go to the doctors, we're not looking for something wrong, but maybe for looking where can I make small adjustments or things. So that was beautiful. And the second thing that I like to add is following Carolina's initiative of doing this minute running with you virtually. Why don't we do it a monthly or something in a group to run with you, to run for all of us? Because it's you and it's all of us. It's the oneness that we are all. So I would like to suggest that maybe we can do that and organize a run once a month or something like that. And to keep it like that, keep pushing ourselves. So that's better us and the beauty of the community that we are now part of. Thanks.
There must be a meditation that we could do that would enable us to do that. You know, that could be Go Love, it could be something else. I don't know. So for sure, let's look what we can do around that. I think Ikshit just
Sorry, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, just my internet got disconnected.
Okay. I'm just trying to find you. Yeah, there you are. I need to put you on spotlight. Okay. So Alba had this amazing other idea about doing something for the geniuses that need a little bit of extra love. And so, yeah, you know, so of course, Peter, would you like to say something, please?
Just thanks a lot, Ikshit, for this wonderful openness and sharing. It's amazing. And it was great that you have been with us this weekend. And just to take the ball on the Circle of Love on Sunday, I would suggest every Sunday we will put you in the Circle of Love and we will run with you around with the amplified, unified power of love we are generating in this circle. And hope you are with us again on Sunday, and then we will run with you in the Circle of Love.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It definitely means a lot to me. Thank you. I'll be there. Thank you.
So,
thank you.
So those of you who don't know, we have a lot of beautiful people here who host the 5 a.m. Central European Time, 4 a.m. UK time meditations every day. Come what may, they're being hosted. So, you know, if you want to know more, go to Genius Meetings in the Unified Field. It's a Telegram group. And we also are applying to be an authorized group for the coherence healing. So if you want to know more, please find us and ask us for more information. I'm just trying to find out whether more people have their hands up. Biljana, did you put on your hands again or not? Or did you
yes,
not?
I have. Yes, I have. Just a quick thing to add. You have a beautiful smile, Ikshit. You just, like lighting up the whole space. I think all around the world with your smile, it just comes through. So thank you so much. You're such an inspiration.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to add this, as you just mentioned, Angelique, and congratulations for going for becoming the authorized group. Yeah, as you know, we have some authorized groups already, and this is great to have more to spread the knowledge and the opportunity for people to heal. The more the better. Also, I don't know whether you know about the initiative. We just started about 2 weeks ago, and that is the walking meditations in the field all around the world. And we have 3 regions to start with. The first region, which is Europe, started this last Sunday, and it was a tremendous success. People are just so inspired, and you don't have to run. You can walk, you can run, or just be in the field with all the geniuses doing it. And we have the other 2 regions starting this coming Sunday, and they are United States, Canada, and Latin America, and also Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. And then the ultimate one will be the one day for all around the world, which is the last Sunday of the month. This is going to be the regular event. So whoever wants to join us, please talk to Angelique, let her know, and I'll organize it through Angelique. She's a wonderful host and a wonderful connector and everything wonderful. Genius.
Thank you, Viljana.
Definitely,
So
yeah.
can you imagine like how most of us take for granted all the things that, some super genius are working so hard for. So, I'll definitely be more appreciative of just my body functioning. And we have to end this meeting in, let's say, 8 minutes, because I need to host our coherence healing on Tuesday night. And I would love to offer you to actually have you as one of the Heelys in one of the evening times, Ikshit, because in the evening we have a lot of people at the coherence healing. So we'll coordinate that with you as a little gift to you. But I really want to ask you maybe one thing, because I think, as you said, that moment of depression, that moment of falling back into lack, and falling back into the old programs, you have the reset button. But before you knew about Dr. Joe's work, what would you do then? Because with Dr. Joe's work, we know what to do. I mean, there's no excuse. Like, how long do we want to be in that feeling, right? There's a specific time, the refractory period. We know that now. But before you knew Dr. Joe, was it Dr. Joe's teaching that made you think, oh, refractory period, 2 minutes? And what did you do before that? I mean, was it more easy? Was it just as easy with the reset, or?
No, actually, I was doing it before Dr. Joe's teachings I heard about, because I've been watching many motivational videos all throughout my college days, and watching this scientific videos about meditation, and I'm trying to grab more and more information, like what are the possibilities around it. I was curious into it because I had till then I had this belief that meditation will only be curing me. So I was just reading only about meditation, yoga, and everything. So, and I have done many things, like not 1 or 2 things. I have tried many things for my motivation, for coming out from the depressive zone. Some things worked sometimes, other things worked other times. So it has been on and off, and because it's a long journey, 10 years long. And so I have tried writing a gratitude journal, writing my vision of future self at every night for a few months, reading it again in the morning. So these little things helped me in my journey throughout, and something I kept for long. I kept challenging myself, for 21 days challenge, 40 days challenge. I have to follow this particular routine. I have to do these things. So these many things I do, something I'm doing now. Later on, I change my schedule. I change this thing. So I was writing my own prescription again and again. So what I need to follow. So, yes.
Wow, that's so nice to hear. I'm so glad I asked the question, because I think sometimes when we get in this depressive zone, we sort of, I studied with Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins says a lot of people get a lot of love and connection if they stay in that depression zone. And sometimes it's like a payoff, like at least I get like, love and connection because I'm this person who has to heal. But Dr. Joe's work is like, boom, break the habit of being yourself. His second book, that's it. There is no, and do you want to be, there's always a gap between who we can be and our divine potential and who we think we are. And there's so much more. So yeah, his teachings have been so instrumental to many of us, but it feels like you had this inner knowing already, and Dr. Joe was just the little, what is it, the crowning jewel on like everything brought together.
Exactly. He connected all the dots for me. Like I've been trying this for so many years, but he like just figured it out and made it so easy for me to grab everything, because I could relate each of his teachings with what I have tried and done and what worked and how it worked for me. So when I heard about Dr. Joe and when I like watched his videos, so I was like, I could relate every single of his teaching, and it makes so much of sense because I have felt and lived that. I have experimented that already. So he's amazing. That's why I was all into his work. Like, oh, this is making so much more and more sense, more and more sense. So Dr. Joe's work has been like cherry on the cake and most amazing thing for me.
Thank you. Thank you. We will have to wrap it up, geniuses, because as some of us, we need to go to another engagement where we need to send some coherent love. There's a lot of beautiful messages here. Deep gratitude for your sharing. Thank you for doing the work, sharing your wisdom. Thank you for the wonderful questions. Thank you for your sharing, nourishing food for my mind and my heart. You're so inspiring doing the work on a daily basis. Wonderful divine being. So please, Ikshit is in some of our Telegram channels. So you can go to members and see if he's there. Just give us his feedback. We will upload this video probably on Quantum Geniuses. That is monitored by Peter, one of our hosts in the weekend. And then, and Ikshit, I will send you the link too, so you can download it and put it on Vimeo or maybe your own YouTube channel, whatever you want to start. And anything you need from us, please let us know. And we'll be connecting with Alba about this monthly Go Love, Go Run kind of like initiative that we might want to do. And yeah, I think this metaphor, not this metaphor, the reality of entanglement and oneness is so beautiful. And I think we've only scratched the surface of what we can do when we start to, do the walking meditations, not for ourselves, but for other people. I literally have seen testimonials of people doing walking meditations, thinking of their loved ones healing, and their loved ones would sometimes heal. And we hear of people visualizing doing these meditations where, let's say, the parents got out of prison, all of these things, sometimes maybe it's even more powerful to do it for somebody else. And so yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm just guided, I just have an inspiration. Oh, let me talk to this person. Let's do something about it. And I get so much out of it. And yeah, but all of you, if you have an inspiration to do something, if you want us to do a Q&A with somebody else, please let us know. I cannot keep up with all the 300, 500 testimonials. There's so many. But if you think, wow, that person, we would love to have a Q&A with them, please get back to us and keep doing the work, and we'll keep in touch with you. And I'll talk to you, Ikshit, about when you're going to receive your coherence healing from us in the evening. And we'll be in touch. Lots of love. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Good night.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. And all the best, Angelique. And
Bye.
Ikshit.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.